Man United edging closer to appointing Dan Ashworth. Manchester United are pushing to appoint Newcastle United's Dan Ashworth as part of a reshuffle behind the scenes at Old Trafford. Manchester United are in talks to hire Dan Ashworth as part of major changes behind the scenes. The Red Devils are now closing in on bringing the 53-year-old to Old Trafford. Manchester United are in talks to appoint Newcastle United director Dan Ashworth, and according to a report from The Telegraph, the former Brighton and Hove Albion chief is edging closer to moving to Old Trafford. With Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos arriving earlier in the year, United are undergoing major changes in the background. Jason Wilcox and Omar Barada are among those to have been appointed so far, but the Red Devils are continuing to bring in the right people behind the scenes to help steer the Manchester club in the right direction. Ashworth closing in on Man United move. United are pushing to bring him to Old Trafford. According to Luke Edwards of The Telegraph, Manchester United are now edging closer to appointing Ashworth, with Newcastle working to bring in a replacement. The 53-year-old is currently on gardening leave as the two clubs agree a compensation package, but it looks as though we're at the final stage of talks. Ashworth played a crucial role in helping the Magpies qualify for Champions League football, and he's set to be part of a wider team at Old Trafford. Ratcliffe is working from the top down, bringing in a host of different figures to help manage the club. The Manchester outfit were initially quoted £20 million for Ashworth by Newcastle, according to The Guardian, and if United were unwilling to dip their hands in their pockets, he wouldn't be able to make the move to Old Trafford until 2026. With the summer transfer window fast approaching, Ratcliffe will be hoping to have Ashworth in place as soon as possible to help with recruitment. Journalist Ben Jacobs recently told Give Me Sport that United feel that Newcastle's valuation of Ashworth is incredible, and they don't believe that a sporting director should be priced at £20 million. The respected reporter names Miguel Almiron, Kieran Trippier, and Callum Wilson as players the Magpies will likely charge less for. Ashworth will certainly have a huge task on his hands when he does eventually arrive at the club. United's recruitment over the last few years has been disastrous, signing players on high wages with little sell-on value. Man United need to alter their strategy. Some of United's highest-paid players are struggling. One of United's major issues has been their wage bill, with some of the players earning a significant amount struggling to live up to their significant salary. If the Red Devils want to offload these highly paid stars, clubs who might be interested will be put off by the money they earn each week. As per Spotrac, Anthony Martial, Raphael Varane, and Casemiro are among the top 4 earners at Old Trafford. Casemiro has struggled this season, Varane has spent a large portion out injured, while Martial hasn't lived up to the expectations placed on him when he burst onto the scene. Man United have a lack of genuine candidates to replace Ten Hag. Manchester United fell to another defeat in the Premier League on Monday, but reports suggest manager Erik Ten Hag could stay. Gareth Southgate and Thomas Tuchel to Manchester United latest as talks begin for new manager. Latest Manchester United news and gossip with rumours of Erik Ten Hag being replaced as manager with updates on Gareth Southgate and Thomas Tuchel. Erik Ten Hag's future at Manchester United continues to be the subject of speculation. Ten Hag's long-term future at Old Trafford has been in doubt for the majority of the season. The rumours that the Dutchman could leave his role as United manager intensified in the aftermath of the 4-0 defeat to Crystal Palace on Monday night. Ineos Group and Sir Jim Ratcliffe are in control of footballing operations at United, which include deciding who will be the club's manager. It remains to be seen what decision will be made by Ratcliffe and company when it comes to who will be in the Old Trafford dugout next season. The past 24 hours have seen several reports about Ten Hag's future and the possibility of a new manager at United. Manchester Evening News Sport takes a look at the latest speculation swirling around Old Trafford. According to Foot Mercato, United have identified Gareth Southgate as the ideal candidate to be the club's next manager. It has been stated that the Reds would want Southgate to be in charge next season in the event that Ten Hag leaves his role in the coming weeks. The report claims that the United hierarchy will seek to reach an agreement in the next few weeks to appoint Southgate as manager, with an announcement expected after England's participation in the European Championships this summer. It has been claimed that Ineos view Southgate as the right coach for the future at United, although no agreement has been reached at the moment. Bayern Munich boss Thomas Tuchel is reportedly a leading candidate to be the next United manager. According to iNews, Ten Hag is almost certain to depart at the end of the season regardless of how results are in the Premier League and FA Cup final. However, it has been stressed that United will not sack Ten Hag before the end of the season and instead will wait until after the conclusion of the campaign. The report claims that several candidates have been identified by United to potentially succeed Ten Hag at Old Trafford. However, it has been stated that Tuchel is the most likely to be named the next United manager this summer. Tuchel will leave his role as manager at Bayern Munich this summer, with the news being confirmed back in February. Despite missing out to Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga title race, Bayern have a Champions League semi-final second leg against Real Madrid this evening as Tuchel looks to win a trophy before his exit. Manchester United have a lack of candidates to replace manager Erik Ten Hag. The pressure is building on the Dutchman following Monday night's 4-0 defeat to Crystal Palace. Manchester United suffered another humiliating loss in the Premier League on Monday, but the club's board might not be in a hurry to fire manager Erik Ten Hag. The Red Devils' form has slumped this season, putting them on course to miss out on European competitions after qualifying for the Champions League last campaign. However, journalist Dean Jones has told GiveMeSport that senior Ineos officials have an issue as there is a lack of genuine candidates to replace the under-pressure Dutchman. After losing 4-0 away at Crystal Palace, Man United have only won twice in their last 10 matches in the Premier League. The club sits 8th in the table with 3 matches remaining to secure a spot in Europe for next season. The FA Cup finalists will face Arsenal, Newcastle, and Brighton before the end of this year's Premier League campaign. Lack of candidates to replace Ten Hag. Another loss has increased speculation over Ten Hag's future, but Jones suggests why a managerial change might not be on the horizon yet. He continues to be assessed, but I'm not entirely sure what is left to make judgment on. Even if he wins the FA Cup against Man City, is that enough to convince everyone that he's the man? We already know there is a severe lack of consistency and reliability when it comes to this United team, but I think the main issue the board have is a lack of genuine candidates to take over that are guaranteed to come in straight away and be a success. A change in the club's board is also a factor to consider in the Ten Hag saga after Sir Jim Ratcliffe completed a deal in February to buy a 27.7% stake in Manchester United. The British billionaire will now oversee football operations and could have a very busy summer transfer window. Major Man United overhaul is ahead. Recently, there have been reports that almost every Man United player is up for sale as the club looks to cut their wage bill and adopt a different transfer strategy in the new era under Ratcliffe. The likes of Raphael Varane, Casemiro, Christian Eriksen, Jadon Sancho, and Mason Greenwood are all likely to leave in the next couple of months, along with manager Ten Hag, who has been in charge since April 2022. The Telegraph reported that only 3 Man United players are safe for next season and won't be placed on the transfer list: Kobbie Mainoo, Alejandro Garnacho, and Rasmus Højlund. While the latter only arrived less than 12 months ago from Atalanta, academy graduates Mainoo and Garnacho have shown signs of huge potential this season and are in the club's plans. Reports suggest the club is in the market for a central striker, midfielder, and central defender in the upcoming summer transfer window. Signing a central defender was on Man United's list of priorities last summer, but the club ultimately decided to sign a 35-year-old veteran, Johnny Evans, and spent big money on the trio of Højlund, Mason Mount, and Andre Onana.